that actually was. Yeah.
Royal Guard just died.
Okay, right. I guess we're finished with the draft. There needs no M50. Oh, there we go.
Royal Guard.
I was gonna be mean then and do predictions and be like, right, predict after 4 each. Right. That'll make it harder, won't it? I guess we're.
Do you think it's a good
finished with the draft. There needs no M50. Oh,
Royal Guard.
It's
I was gonna be mean then and do predictions and be like, right, predict after 4 each. That'll make it harder. I guess we're.
Do you think it's a good start?
So you can find it in gyro because you can always roll into the missile.
It's
I was
okay.
gonna be mean then and do predictions and be like, right, predict after 4 each. That'll make it harder. I guess we're.
So you can find it in gyro because you can always roll into the missile.
It's okay. I was gonna be mean then and do predictions and be like, right, predict after 4
that was in the HP roofing and I never see
That'll make it harder.
like
I
the
guess
start
we're.
but they are finding it out because you can always roll into the missile.
It's okay. I was gonna be mean then and do predictions. Visage.
Helm of Dominator hero. That's a and the hero is like pretty good with that build, and with the recent changes to what Grave Shield that your familiars have the speed as well. The hero's in a pretty good state. As long as you don't get like some really bad matchup in the lane against a brute.
Okay, Jack. Prediction time.
A real difficult. Unless something absolutely.
Okay. Winter. Bear in mind you're currently at 1 and 373 or something.
Come on, that's not true.
Is it not? Am I just exaggerating
that? That is not
Okay,
true. So
right.
I'm gonna have to improve my
Okay,
odds.
alright.
So I'm going with VP.
Right, this is based on your theory that you just go for the better team regardless of the draft.
If I look at the draft,
Right.
I feel like I kind of like it.
Quite like. Okay. So 2 for Virtus.Pro, Will. Clean sweep.
I actually do kind of like Virtus.Pro's draft. And Virtus.Pro, they keep doing this thing where I feel like they're getting more and more bold. Like CM and Lena are not winning heroes. So you know what?
You're gonna lose at some point.
Yeah,
Right?
Effect, you're finally gonna break the spree against the best team here. It looks ridiculous when I see it on the screen. Whatever.
Alright, Sergeant Blitz has gone for Effect, and that is what his decision is. I think he's playing a bit of fun, but who knows, you know? They did have, after all, a 0.5% chance of winning this game, according to Winter anyway. Let's see whether that can be overturned and whether they can pull off what would be an incredible win against the best team in this group. Let's head back to our commentary team who've swapped things up in there. Toby One, it's all yours.
Thank you, Red. Yes, I'm interested to see if Effect can win. If Blitz believes in them, anything is possible.
That's what I've seen, but perhaps
Okay.
the opposite, actually.
But belief is a virtue that the fans of Effect don't appear to be able to have. So, yay.
I actually really like Effect's draft. I think the Visage has an awesome game, and it's just see what happens. I like the word Effect as Resolution displays.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's just a...
I had a bit of an echo. Let's fix it.
Okay, I was wondering why I was hearing myself back again. That was fun.
Yeah, we're good now. So,
Yeah, so talk about the ward.
well, it just prevents the Doom from playing in this lane, beating this creep. It makes him go all the way back to his own play bottom, and that's just really good for him. See Roger, Boots and Pooled Tango is just going to grab this creep wave. It's something he does consistently when he plays Sand King, and it just guarantees that this Doom will get, like, at least a game, and it's something that's really important in Dota now. You need every core to be at least involved in the act.
I always, though, wonder like if Roger's pushing the issue too far. Both King R and Roger doing mirror stuff at the moment, but Roger has Madden along with him. So if they can get a pick up with telekinesis again, even though the cooldown's a long time, Roger, he's actually going to TP out inside the Radiant base is where he will leave. But it's King R who has the double creep wave up on top of the Dark Willow.
And Solo smoked and looked to hunt the courier mid, wasn't able to get it. I don't mind that decision, considering he can't do anything to stop the pull, much like the Rubik had no success, and he doesn't do anything till he does this, where he pulls, he's going to farm the heart.
Is Resolution dead? Down the trees, Pot's trying to reach him with Infernal Blade. Yeah, Resolution's pinging, he wants some help, but he's got no help.
How did that happen?
Well, okay, so the double pull that was happening, Pasha just dove under the tower with Infernal Blade. Resolution never did any real damage. He never even leveled an ability. He's at level 2 right now with no Rocket Barrage, no Homing Missile, none of these things.
I assume he just dove with the creep wave. Why not just flak the wave?
That's a very good question, but as I said, Gyrocopter hasn't leveled up anything. Even now, he stands there. It's not just a bug on my screen. It's resolution, just not leveling anything yet. Okay, now he's going to go homing missile against Pasha, but they picks up. They've got a huge creep wave on the bottom lane, so all the extra damage they require is going to be there. This almost feels like the old, like, block as many creep waves as possible, then push down towers with.
What does Dota become?
This
There's just 3 creep waves in the tower.
Don't worry, it's just the way Dota gets played, right? Like, we'll change the meta in about 2 weeks' time.
There's 4 creep waves on the tower.
Who thought the last time that we would be here, like, we were in the stadium already, the players still playing back at the hotel, but the last time we were here, we saw Monkey King dominate the meta completely, and Invictus Gaming with the greatest team ever with Bobica, but now those things have changed as well. Everything that comes in Dota will still change again. Except for Virtus.Pro just hunting more people. Roger has an Invis rune, waiting for resolution, but they don't want to push Pasha out too early or else this gets a little bit too obvious.
Doom's almost going to be level 4 after this. He was 1 when it got to his tower.
Oh, Curse Crown holding back range for half a second, but finally they've gone on to resolution. There's a level 2 Infernal Blade to resolution, copped so much damage, and he was controlled by both the Caustic and the Burrow Strike. They won't have actually they have Burrow Strike off cooldown now if they can close the distance. Nope. And just far enough away.
What makes VP so great is how they adapt. They're always thinking on their feet. So once Pasha recognizes this hard campus block, he just skips his Q entirely.
Afterlife is dead. There's almost nothing that can save him apart from the timing of the Cursed Crown. I say almost nothing. Okay, it's Shadow Realm to TP away to safety.
So good. I'm always impressed when people make decisions like that based on the specific game that they're playing, and that's what actually allows them to get that kill on Gyro.
They're playing around now with SK. Roger being pulled in. He already used his Burrow Strike to be aggressive. The homing missile connects. Resolution barrage in half a second time. So Roger, Burrow Strikes up the hill and away from Resolution. One more hit will kill him. And the Orbit Venom Fairy Fire from Pasha just rotates over. And Roger, even Munch on the Tango, get further away. And Madden, he wants to keep chasing this. He's going to go into the trees. And Roger, Courier comes in. Okay, well, the Courier will be fine. Roger gets more consumables, and he has a regeneration rune for him. So we Burrow Strike, turns around for the kill to work with Pasha. Can Madden? Yeah, Madden will be able to get the revenge. So, could have played it safe and survived, but this is Virtus.Pro. They don't play anything safe. Solo's in trouble up on top. There should be enough damage from King R. Ramsey's moving in. Solo's already used a Frostbite, and Roger, he only just died, but he's up on the top lane, TP'd in, he gets the double stun, and now it's Afterlife running from Solo and Ramsey, while King R has Roger on his tail. Roger has Burrow Strike available, try and time it at the same time as the Cursed Crown, so they'll keep up with each other, especially with the Caustic, like, finale slow. King will die inside the Dire jungle. If Solo can just close the distance, he's got Burrow Strike. That'll work. No one dies in the mid lane to Apo Ninja.
Good rotate over from the Rubik, although look at no one's CS mid. He has nearly every creep. He is absolutely crushing this business. And that's also, like, Roger died, right? But the respawn timers are so low, he's immediately ready to TP top. And that only happens because he died. You could argue it was good that this happened.
Okay, the pings came out just before this began. Roger doesn't have enough damage to kill him off. It's the 2 points up in the Gravekeeper's quote, plus the 1 charge is available, but okay, this feels very odd. So they pinged out when the Observe Ward was planted just at the northern side of the mid. It's now actually being de-warded by King R, but they didn't really react to it at all. And then they lose the Gyrocopter on bottom lane.
Doom is just so strong now. He already has phase boots and he ate a wolf creep, so he's hitting for almost 150 already. Going for a soul ring as well, which is strange since he has the CM aura, but I imagine he's going to get some creep he'll use to cast spells with, and then it'll pay for it.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Oh, Infestation. Roger and Solo, well, they just close the distance in the middle to Apo Ninja with the only one already in position. They put down the Bramble, but VP walking almost circles around it. Solo gets caught by half of it, going for the Cursed Crown target. King R does at least get Roger, but he'll lose his life. Yeah, he does lose his life for this underneath the tier 1.
Game going about as you would expect, I think. VP just dominating pretty much every lane.
Yeah, it's all out brawls. Afterlife's going up to solo. No one has to use the Life Strike array to create space, but it comes a little bit too late. Crystal Maiden is worth almost 400 gold. You know you've got problems.
Bottom lane Doom with the top net worth in the game. He's chasing Rubik down.
Courier. Shield! Shield on Courier! Okay, Courier has shields. Madden dies under the tower. And Partially just starts his TP away to safety. There's King R coming behind him, trying to stop the gank of Virtus.Pro.
He has 6 in a second. He could look to dive this Doom when his fire comes up. Doom does. They don't know Doom is 6 just yet. Just kidding, there's war.
Yeah, now they know. Yep, Madden. Pick him up, throw him down, and Partial, what do you want to do? SK's rotating back over. They put down the Bramble. Doom gets caught by it. He does not have Scorched Earth available. And the movement speed from the phase boots was a little bit too late.
Keep up before he died, though. Good discipline. So he loses nothing. Finishes a bracer. He'll be going drums. Mid lane, no one finishes phase boots. He looks to go Yules. And I like that Ramsey's choosing to go for the armlet this game over the Radiance Rush. Still not really a fan of.
Is all lifestealers actually going Radiance Rush these days?
Most of them, yeah. I've seen the armlet build like once or twice. It's mostly with Tumperman and Random.
Afterlife's dead on top. Solo's already there, gonna get the Frostbite off, and yep, goodbye to the Brewmaster.
He had split, he just goes to die instead.
Yeah. I don't think he saw the Crystal Maiden coming in from the side. Ramses was gonna kill him anyway.
I feel like each their own.
Just don't want to burn the ability. It is a long cooldown for him. Level 1 at 140 seconds, so...
You can kill the CM with it, is the thing. Or at the very least, yeah.
Just don't want to burn the ability. It is a long cooldown for him. Level 1 at 140 seconds, so...
You can kill the CM with it.
Just don't want to burn the ability. It is a long cooldown for him. Level 1 at 140 seconds, so...
You can kill the CM with it.
Just don't want to burn the ability. It is a long cooldown for him. Level 1 at 140 seconds, so... Failures. And this is surgical from Virtus.Pro.
They're so good. So they weren't smoked when they went to hunt the Brew, and because Brew TPs in and dies, they know there's no vision. They get the kill, immediately smoke mid lifestealer TPs. It's so fast, and not many teams can play with this face as efficiently as VP does.
Yeah, this is where the panel can sit there and talk about, okay, yeah, the draft is good for effect, like Virtus.Pro are getting more bold with every game that goes past, but when you can play at this tempo, when you can play at this level, and it's on heroes that they all feel very, very comfortable with, you can understand why they're getting more aggressive, more bold. And that's going to make them very difficult to play against. Like, the amount of data you're going to get from Virtus.Pro during the group stage has to be so low, just because they've never really been tested.
No, they really haven't. I mean, the last couple of lands, they haven't even been 3-0'd the last final they played in, and in their own words, the only team that seems to really give them a challenge is Liquid.
Yep.
Although I think Secret on form is the same, but I mean, we've been talking about that trio of teams for quite some time now.
There is a reason why at the very top of the boards leading into TI that they are the top 3: Secret, VP, Liquid.
I just have the curse to contend with. Maybe that's like the saving grace of Dota 2, is that VP can't possibly win this year, as it is China's turn.
That's yeah, that's right. We've got that. Split coming out. They're after no one. The Virus Strike from Roger bringing a little bit more space, and Ramsey's in the middle of it. They'll get the Doom off. No one still being chased underneath the tier 2 tower. Somehow surviving, but not enough. It's Effect Afro Ninja who gets the kill eventually.
Perfect stuff.
Roger just times it. Come back in from the bruise split. So poor No One's the one who gets to say well played. He is the sacrifice.
Another thing VP does really well is always rotating properly. They had 4 mid earlier, but in the meantime Doom was farming bottom lane. This time they bring all 5. They end up winning a decisive fight even against the bruise split.
So Ramsey has Armlet completed 11 minutes into the game. What was Roger? Roger's just going to go for the Urn of Shadows. How's Doom looking? Doom has... It looks like his drums are coming out of the crew at the moment. Yeah, they're going up on top. Didn't think actually much would come of it until King R just... Okay. Doom is out, you can terrorize them back. The fear onto Rogers, they find the kill. And then back underneath the tier 1 tower. Lina, doomed up, running into the trees. Goes to Life actually connects onto the Rubik. But Effect here in force. They brought 4 heroes up to this top lane to ensure they can get themselves a kill. Ramses may feel confident enough to fight this. Now he can armlet toggle, but he'll need friends. He'll need heroes to TP in. SK can't do it. He's on crawl down. Same thing for the Doombringer. Crystal Maiden's the only hero who can TP to the top lane right now. But Ramses looks like he feels confident to stand here. Rages up, goes after Resolution. He doesn't have the Infest, but now he has the Crystal Maiden arriving. Solo, Frostbite, so Jericho can't run away. And he will actually lose his life at this. Really feels like Virtus.Pro playing very flippantly. They'll get a double burrow strike out for Ramses. Controlling his Mod Golem spell familiars. He has to rage once more. Looking for a good target, but doesn't have the open wounds to keep the distance close.
And a little over aggressive, but in the meantime, they're just pressuring bottom. There's a Brood down there now, but it's more about defending the objective, so they keep the tower alive. And I like Ramses' decision. He ults to avoid the first Cursed Crown, which then allows him to rage and secure the kill on the gyro. If he rages, he'll be forced to run away. They have to sacrifice the tower.
Going again on Ramses. Rages, dodges. King R's attack, plus the Mud Golem shard. Little rock, pebble, whatever that thing is called. Pearl Boulder.
Concern for Effect because almost like they have no real answer to Lifestealer in this game, and you can just open this gyro with Visage and Brew, and he always threatens a kill, and then they have Doom for another target. So they just have a far easier time finding fights, whereas in order to win a team fight, Effect need Brew split and they have to commit it really early. They do have the Dark Willow though.
Virtus.Pro is smoked up. They're going to come in behind Afo Ninja as well as Resolution. Rezo's been showing himself quite clearly on the lane. They want to try and survive this, but okay, Rubik, at least he can keep the life stealer out of this play. The Doom is on the Gyrocopter, so he's been removed for this game. For this fight at least, Roger actually gets his epicenter off. Afo Ninja, with all those subs around, I thought he was probably going to be interrupted, but no. All that damage gets into Afo, Gyrocopter, the Doom is barely about to wear off. No one doesn't reach him with the Dragon Slave or the Light Strike Eraser. Resolution with Drum Chunks has a little bit more time to play around. Gets the call down, but he can't survive that. Both the cores were pretty much under full control. Virtus.Pro only loses support to gain both of them.
Two key things is that while they smoked, they placed this really good ward up top on this hill again. It wasn't sentry before, so why would they get it this time? And before Solo dies, he places this ward over here just for the team fight. Something VP does really well is to just play around vision. They also got the resummon on Visage and killed both birds, so he is very ineffective now.
I don't think you really want to be here after that Solace, the ulti go. At least you get the pick up from the Rubik, so he's going to steal and try and return it back here, but he doesn't have the mana for it. So he just holds the rage and runs away from the Lifestealer, allowing him to get the kill onto the Crystal Maiden, and maybe for the first time in a long time, they can get away with this. Get a kill without losing a hero. Okay, no they don't. Yule Scepter, Fire Striker Ray will connect. Ramses has all the mana with those one charges just frequently being given back to him.
You can go with Sandrayashi next. I like that choice. Whenever you're ahead like this, it's so good, especially against a Gyrocopter. You don't get kited nearly as hard. You can just chase him down, stay on top. And Rezo's so behind, even though he's top on his team. Just doesn't feel that way if you look at the heroes he has to play up against.
Yeah. The Gyrocopter's always meant to be in front, right? He's meant to have stacks to work with, like he's at least got a double stack in one of his Ancients, but that's not that much to go with. Rubik, successful TP out of bottom lane. No one had Disable available. Actually, no one may have actually had Disable available. I think that Yule Scepter was ready.
He had Rage TP.
Okay, that's why. So no Disable available.
And time Pasha's just rushed a Blade Mail. Looks like he'll be going Shadow Blade next. I like the choice though because Gyrocopter and Willow have a hard time like not dealing damage once they cast their Flak or their Bedlam. So you can kind of just tank the spells for your team. And if you look at the draft of VP, like Doom, Lifestealer, both approaching 2000 HP, and it's 50 minutes into the game. So it's going to be really hard to try and take it over.
Whereas this is a team that doesn't really need to have like that mech carrier for the off-lane. Trouble for the Brewmaster, they're going to Laguna him down. And okay, King Arch, he was hiding centrally inside the tree, but there's an observer on the hill that saw everything. So he just throws out his Terrorize. They're feared but stunned up and going nowhere. No one has the range and position. Ramses can break free back into mid. Roger on the run, homing missile. Back underneath the tower. They're going to chase it down. Here's your call down, trying to create some space. Roger takes way too much damage. That one fire cannon hit. Able to reach him and giving Resolution that last hit in, but Pasha way too strong. Potential denial won't happen. The Infernal Blade from Pasha actually interrupts Matt, so he had no chance to actually get the denial out.
VP is just so good. Like, he recognizes that Gyro is going to die to fire plus Doom, and then and you can see Rubik hesitate to look to deny Gyro, so he just kills him instead with the Infernal Blade, and it's just such a, they're just so quick. All of them.
Oh, we were talking about, I think it was like OG we were talking about in the green room while the games are going on this morning. And we're talking like, okay, so which players are having problems, which players need to step up in order for this team to work. And then you look at a team like Virtus.Pro, you say like, yeah, this guy's so quick, this guy's playing beautifully. Roger was a fantastic pickup for them. Like, for me, he was the highlight of the old Na'Vi roster. And now he's just syncing so well with all the timings of Virtus.Pro that they're aggressive, reflexive team. It almost like it feels like a flashback actually to Alliance. Remember when Alliance used to just pick absolutely anything and they would always win. That was like back shortly after they won TR.
Back in the 90s?
Wow. Wow.
InSync had their day too.
Wow. Sorry, Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys is the level they were at, not NSYNC. Come on, at least give Alliance some level of credit. Burrow Strike on bottom river, Bruman's in trouble. After line, he's forced into a split. And Ramses will go into it now. Raged up, wants to kill off Resolution. They were backing up for half a second. The T1 tower's already fallen on the bottom lane. And with the pickup called down, Ramses is in real trouble. Pasha wants to run in. The Burrow Strike is nice. It's Roger on a cliff, however. But he's covered underneath the Sandstorm, which will now be gone. Observer and Sentry on the hill. That's why it wasn't really any real cover. But the Infernal Blade, Apo, Clap, it's working for Afterlife. Virtus.Pro, they've got a lot of low players, and Resolution now wants to try and capitalize. Needs this money, especially the kill on no one. It would mean so much. The Soul Assumption, it's not enough. Into the tree, down to 40 HP. No one visible to Afro Ninjas, Familiars. They'll find the kill on him, and Virtus.Pro lose practically everybody. As Roger is the sole survivor, and Effect can keep pushing. They're looking to the tier 2 tower.
This reward place during that fight with his total vision at the bottom area of the map makes it way easier to take that engagement, but VP getting a little over-aggressive. I think Ramses could have probably looked to just back away towards eventual teleports, but chose to like man up on the gyrocopter through his rage, and then he's like, oh wait, I'm in trouble, and he died.
Yep. No infest target, no nothing. So, Effect, able to get a good advantage out of this one. They were falling behind. It's about 7,500 to 8,000 net worth going the way of Virtus.Pro, but this is now swinging back up to about 4,000 net worth. And the experience is to 2K. So, Effect, having Resolution as a real hero, the damage output is going to be there. Visage is still very difficult to kill. As they search for more control, he's going to go Rotovator style build. Trouble for the Rubik. Set up in towards the air. The Bramble might create enough space for him to die. I went for the optimistic approach for that call.
Yeah. The thing about VP, I think in Dota 2, there's a lot of first mover advantage where the team that's playing aggressively, the ones that are making the smokes, placing the earlier wards, like they always have an advantage. And when you have 5 players that can play that style very well, it allows them to just like crush through games. But the one downside, so this is the engagement. So you can see Ramses is just going a little too aggressive onto Gyro, and then he's like, oh, hit Rubik, and then his team isn't here yet. And this is the downside of this aggressive style, where all of a sudden you're engaging just a little too early, and now you're all here, you're committed, but you've lost your lifestealer, and this fight's now unwinnable, but they're going to try to take it anyway, and they're punished.
Just because it's Virtus.Pro. They'll always believe they can get it away. So, really fantastic fight for Effect. It's going to be a nice turning point for them. And they're actually going to take this momentum that they claim to the bottom lane into Roshan. They want the Aegis of the Immortal. They've got King R doing a bit of a scout. And it looks like Virtus.Pro also haven't realized the time. Virtus.Pro knew Roshan obviously was up. and they were around Roshan themselves, but now they give Aegis Immortal to Resolution. Effect are being armed with everything they need to contest every fight against Virtus.Pro. The question will be, can they get the initiation off as BP now smoke to wrap around?
On the rocks.
PD bottom.
That's even going to be better for him. Pasha is the one man to claim it. There's your jump in. Infestation. They're looking for the Brewmaster who gets the split off. Virtus.Pro, that initiation is not what they're looking for. Crystal Maiden dies in the tree line. You got the Doom onto the Gyrocopter, but there's no one to really keep the pressure up on him. And now it's Pasha trapped in the mid, surrounded by all of that control. Even Roger with the epicenter damage. Besides won't die. Ramsey just trying to do the best he possibly can. Terrorize from the back line, create some space, but Ramsey's on the run, lies strike away from no one. There's your space creation. But Aegis Immortal is still more powerful. Bramble goes down once more. BP thought they can get into the tree line. It won't happen. Look at that movement from Resolution. He just wants to keep running solo. We'll stop it with a Frostbite. And back to the tier 2 tower. Virtus.Pro, again, not the fight they were looking for, but it's the best one considering the Aegis Immortal.
Dark Lord's doing so much work. Fights the brambles, like the damage output of Bedlam. It's just, I can't wait for a couple Thursdays from now. I really hope to see this hero featured prominently on the list.
Oh, you mean because Techies is going to come in? That's why you can't wait for a couple of Thursdays from now?
Please no.
A hero a week, a hero every 2 weeks, boys. So this that fight again in towards the mid. So the initiation comes, and then Brew gets the split.
No. They just didn't have the follow-up. If they kill Brew there, they're winning this fight 100%, but that's the downside of initiating on a hero like Brew. Same with heroes like, Tide, where if you try to kill them before their spell and they get it off anyway, all of a sudden, you're in a really good position in the team.
We're back into life now with the mid initiation onto Roger. Doesn't have Burrow, Sand, or Blink available, but he'll have no one. And that will be enough.
Rezo's BKB, 1,000 gold away. That's a big timing for his team. Pasha choosing to doom him during that fight to limit his damage output, but of course the Brew split and his squishy heroes on the side had already died. I believe Solo bought back in that fight. I'm not sure if he died back. He did buy back.
Yeah, he bought back, and I'm not certain. I don't remember the end of it. No, he was alive underneath the tier 2. He didn't go down again. But I think Solo was still kind of annoyed. Like, he got pushed back at the very second. I'm fairly certain he wanted to frostbite the Brewmaster to keep that control going. Top lane, Pasha. Did anybody bring detection? No, they did not.
That's a little mistake. You gotta have dust.
He's been doing a pretty damn good job. You give him this one.
Nope.
No?
Nope, no excuses.
No mercy?
Support.
Wow.
Your gold's for the team.
Wow. I did not think we're seeing eye to eye on this one. Mercy is always great. Bloodstone up on no one, so that's his item of choice after getting the Yule Scepter. This could be punishing for Virtus.Pro if they start if they continue to lose heroes in the engagements.
Because right now they don't have much physical damage outside of Lifesteal. About to finish Deso, but his damage output, he really needs to be raged to do anything in these fights. There's so many methods of control. He can be thrown up in the air. He can be stunned by every hero on the enemy team. Like he only has the rage for burst. So if they don't land a couple of kills in that window of like maybe a Lina ult, a stun on top, whatever,
yep,
he's gonna just get kited and or die.
Yep, and Dark Will is gonna make sure, but she just picked up a Blink Dagger to go with the Veil of Discord.
Visage has a Solar Crest, so if his whole job is to target the Lina. If he gets on top of him, like Lina goes to 0 armor, and the Solar Crest is negative armor actually, so he'll just explode to the flat cannon and the burst. Wolf Creep picked up by Visage.
Speaking of exploding, no one. There's your attack, jumping straight in, feared up, locked up, and perfectly controlled. This is what I was worried about with those Bloodstone charges already down to 9 on the Lina. Effect. They're in full hunt mode. That's only like, do you just still say the Bloodstone is still great to pick up when you, obviously he's got it at 24 minutes, like timing is not terrible.
I don't like the Yule's Bloodstone. I think he needs to itemize for more survivability. Even just like a Force Staff would help him a lot in this game, but he needs armor and a BKB, and he just wants really selfish items. Well, not selfish, but greedy. And as you can see, like, if he gets initiated on, Lina will just die, and they don't have enough save. You also don't really need the Bloodstone when you have a CM on your team to accelerate.
She's got 27.9 mana regeneration at the moment. That's pretty damn good for early. Effect, gonna push up the mid. Tier 2 tower has big bullseye painted on it because it's the last remaining outer tower that Virtus.Pro own. So VP, if this really is the most they've been tested, it does feel like they've put themselves in this position as well, but Effect have made the most of everything they were given. And you shouldn't click that stuff.
I didn't know if I don't want to interrupt. I feel like I can give information.
No, it goes to everyone when you do that. So let's not do that one. Jump in, Roger gets the double firing strike. Line strike array follow up. They almost kill off the Dark Ruler. Priority target, number one for Virtus.Pro. Resolution still with that BKB flag cannon, does some good damage, but not enough to get a kill. In fact, he's the man that's probably going to die. Parcher is moving so quickly with the epicenter. Roger will slow him down. We can move back over to the Visage, who was doomed up that entire fight, locked down by Ramsey. And the second you think Virtus.Pro are being tested, think again. Effect have been wiped from the face of the earth.
How did that even happen? That was the perfect fight. They're on the high ground. They have a DD on gyro, and then they just get rolled.
Yeah, that's one of those team fights we can watch it get in slow motion just to relive it. And if they're going to lose familiars as well.
I've seen like Jersey versus varsity basketball games.
Would you like to do a non-American reference?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's like
Yeah.
Germany versus America in the World Cup. No, that doesn't work. Never mind.
Australia versus Germany football team. There you go, everybody.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Put on them. Bottom lane, solo. It looks like King R's trying to go for a bit of a solo kill onto solo, and he will be able to achieve it. And the thing is, it's worth it right now. 463 gold again for a kill onto a Crystal Maiden, the Virus Strike follow-up. And, hide yourself out, terrorize them away. They're going to keep following you, though, because BKB from Pasha protects him.
Well, he just cancel the blank with his fire. If he gets feared, he might not be able to do that. Well played. I still can't believe VP just crushed through that fight so hard. Like they're just in a winning position in the game now. They play for second Roche. If they get that, now the Blitzone starts to pay for itself. Blink, step on them.
So here's that fight that happened again in the mid lane. So the double Burrow strike up on the hills, and they just deleted.
Yep. Dark Willow should not be standing there, to be fair. I think he's just... You can't get caught out like that. If he survives, I think this fight will be totally different, but it's also no one's BK... Or not no one, but Pasha's BKB. Allows him to just run through the engagement, get tons of vision. He gets the Doom on the perfect target of the Visage, and it just makes the fight easy. And of course, Roger setting up the double Burrow.
It's like all the effects... All the control that Effect had just was not effective. I was looking for a better word, but I couldn't. Yeah. Freaking just tier 1 caster. Goodbye, Madden. He just TP's out.
Now you have some serious problems if you're Effect. The Visage chose to go for a pipe, so he's not going to scale very well at all. And it's now just all on resolutions to do enough damage. As we discussed, like everyone's just so tanky at this point. He has so much. There's so much burst on the enemy side that it's very hard for him to ever commit to a team fight. Rue going for a Vlad's and now an Aether Lens, so he's falling off. It's pretty much the Willow and Rezo show.
Bottom lane, Roger has the infested Lifestealer inside of him. Resolution's already burning the shrine. Probably wanted to have that. Now Virtus.Pro may feel a little bit more confident to fight underneath it. As they have the vision, the jump forward. Rubik was used up. The timing not quite right there from Virtus.Pro. Rubik able to survive, still has rage available too. They jumped in further. The Brewmaster split is out. Crystal Maiden not a part of this fight. As Resolution goes down, Effects turn their attention over towards no one. They'll blink away to safety. Solo will not be so lucky. Homing missiles, rock columns throwing at him. And he thought he was safe inside of a Ghost Scepter, but that's not the case. Visage did die for it, so it's a 2-for-1 trade-off.
Posh is just dooming him and running him down. There's nothing Virtus can do to survive.
Next Roshan will be up in about a minute's time. Effect. They would love to be able to claim the second one. And, well, okay, they'd love to claim Doombringer. Walking straight through. Roger comes in for the epicenter. So at least they get a revenge kill into Dark. Willow, no one lining up man, but Resolution's now going to arrive. Rubik hiding inside the shadow angle, and they can't see him, they can't kill him. Madden actually brings in the damage too with the stolen Dragon Slave. Effect, knew Roger was nearby, landed the clap, but couldn't keep the vision up. So Virtus.Pro again. Down a couple of heroes. Effect will finish off the mid-tier 2 tower, and then they'll look towards Roshan.
No one bought out items for his BKB before he died. It's something I've seen BKB now 3 times in this game, where they buy out just before dying, and it really helps reward their playstyle, where it's a lot of trades, a lot of kills, and deaths. If you spend your money before you die and you don't lose any, it's like preventing an extra kill almost, because the death penalty is so high whenever you're this heavy.
Mass TPs are coming in from Virtus.Pro. Got Blink Yules to potentially lock down Resolution, but won't fade out the 8-second BKB charge. Roshan is spawning up in 2 seconds. Effect did check the pit, but now no one is fully aware of it. I gotta stop using that word. There is nobody who is currently aware of Roshan.
Get you balls to the source.
No, I'm not allowed to learn English. That's going to hamper my abilities as a commentator. Well, they're smoked up. Effect. They are going to slip inside the pit. So Virtus.Pro, let's see if they do get to react to this. They had no vision of the smoke whatsoever. There's a sentry ward down in front of the pit, so Effect can get some information. And Virtus.Pro want to come in close. And the pings are coming. Roshan is low, down to 1/4. They need to finish this quickly now, Effect, before Virtus.Pro can get anywhere close to it. And actually, what am I saying? Rams is all the way on the bottom. No one's all the way up on the top. VP are in no position to contest Roshan.
Are hitting item timings though. AC finished on Lifestealer. No one about to finish his BKB. Blink Dagger picked up on CM to go with the ward and the smoke. So I expect them to run it Effect even though they're playing into the 8.
But Resolution's also going to be getting his butterfly. You've got Brewmaster very hard to nuke down when he went for the Aeon Disc style build. Afo Ninja, he's slowly getting towards the Orchid. I say slowly, he's about 1,000 gold away from completing it. But they need a little bit more time here, Effect, to make all their items work and then to even deliver them out.
It's like VBS map hack on though. You see the line drawn by Brewmaster and they're just going to intercept and immediately initiate on the
It's so obvious and there's no vision. They just jump in. The perfect double barrow strike. Madden is gone. The Doom is already out too. So once again, the target is being removed. The Afterlife this time around. And this Immortal has brought down. So Jarrett comes back to one living range. Close to distance. No one. It is Laguna Blade as well. Resolution just has nothing to give. When the BKB is gone and Roger just double after double. This man never takes a single shot. The Brewmaster is the only one to be alive, and that's because he bought back to try and get involved in the fight, but it was over before he could even finish his TP.
Yep, that fight's all about the initiation. They get the Rubik for free while they try to kill the Brew. He gets doomed immediately by Pasha, and that's all she wrote. But once the Brewmaster's doomed, there's no way you win this team fight.
You know, there was a guide that was out there about like Virtus.Pro's vision game, about their warhoods. I don't think it even matters. Even blind, Virtus.Pro just use the force and just wreck everybody. No one, maybe a little bit too deep. Familiar stuns. 16 plus don't charges, but no, they forced off him up, and then you can burrow strike through the rest of it. Pasha, he's focusing on the Earth Brewling. They're back far enough, but this is a bit pushed out. Familiars can't do much more, couldn't drop to the deck in time. And 3 heroes without flying back means Virtus.Pro playing mid-racks.
They still have a little things, right? Right item choices. Even before that last team fight, Pasha picks up a Wolf Creep. So now his Lifestealer makes it so much harder.
That's over 300 damage a swipe from Ramses. They claim 2 lanes of racks. Effect. Well, how do you want to fight this one? BKB and Rage TPs?
So fast.
And Virtus.Pro are gone. And no risk as well. Like, even no one burned his 9-second BKB to TP out. He wasn't even inside the base. He was back on the far stairs.
You know, I really hope more players and teams watch these replays. Look at there's nothing much to say about this fight. The BKB usage is perfect. Double BKB, the Rage, the Doom on the Brew, so he's dead. They killed Gyro after they killed the Rubik. The birds are dying. Like, it's just, they're just doing it perfectly.
Resolution feels like he's made of paper as well. Like, he had his BKB up, and Ramsey just shredded him apart. And when he comes back to life again, then they just use the magical combination they've got. It's
nothing you can do. And there isn't really much to say. I hope more teams watch VP play, because I think you can learn a lot from just their item choice, their decision making, their map movement, the way they play around vision. Like, they do all of the little things right, and it makes it so that, like, even these games where they're behind, it feels like they always have an idea of what do we have to do to win. And even what do we have to do in the next 15 seconds? Like when they kill the bottom racks and then they're immediately Rage, BKB, TP away. It's fast, it's crisp, and they don't leave room for the enemy team to capitalize on any event.
And this is where now, like, Effect really being tested. It did look a little cloudy for Virtus.Pro in the first 10-15 minutes, but Effect, they at least have some things to work with. Like, this isn't a terrible gyrocopter at the moment. Like, yeah, he needs to finish up his butterfly. He also needs money for buyback. He's short. So there's his butterfly. So he's got 800 gold short of buyback.
Well, I thought he had finished it.
No, he didn't actually complete it before the team fight started. That's what I was talking about, where Effect were pushing up and they didn't have these items done when VP started the fight. So like now you have the Orchid on the Passage. Now you actually have the Butterfly, the Gyrocopter. But all of that wasn't there. Like half of it was being transported up, but not all the pieces.
Yeah, I thought he had everything but the evasion piece. I thought he had bought it. I didn't even realize it was not on his hero yet. But that's like a perfect example. VP finishes like 3 major items and they run for a team fight, and there's still 2 waiting in the wings for the Effect. So even though the game was like mostly even, they're really like 10,000 go behind because these 2 items are complete. Maybe 8.
Effect now into defense duty. They still have that little bit of a hindrance on the bottom lane. The fact they lost their melee racks, this lane will push back in eventually.
Now there's an MKB. No life stealing. Well, butterfly timing means nothing anymore.
Yep.
Shiva's on the Doom.
But they need to make the Orchid work then from Afo. It's more problematic than this life steal if he just wants to run in.
Not sure how you win this game with your Effect now. You're kind of waiting your base. I mean, actually, I lied. I do know how you win. You get a throw from VP and you pick up the Rapier.
Done. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. Okay, they have to buy the Rapier themselves. There's no way VP can buy it for them. But they're giving the cash to Resolution. So he's 1,900 towards the Radiance. Towards the Rapier.
I just don't know if VP is going to make the same mistakes other teams have made in the spot. Just collect the Roche that spawns in 2 to 5 minutes. Maybe.
They'll have Refresher Shot as well for this Roshan. So that means either double BKBs for whoever takes it.
Double Doom. Double Shivas. It's like the perfect Refresher Shard hero, especially when you go this item built.
He just had to drop what Shadow Blade.
They're playing this right. Like, you can kill Effect if they run out of their base, but there's no reason to force things. You're in a prime position to win the game. So, but as you can see, Roger being disciplined, he's just going to continue, scout high grounds, kill any wards that might have been placed by Effect. They're effectively now trapped in their base, and you, well.
Madden had to be feeling that one right there. But Crystal Maiden has a BKB. Like, even if he was feeling the telekinesis grab on the solo, you'd BKB and you'd probably lose the fight.
He has maxed out Freezing Field along with the talent, so.
Oh yeah, he's looking for the big ultimate. This will be a glorious ultimate from Solo once he finishes the Aghanim Scepter.
I'd love to see him just like BKB and blink. So they have now 1 ward in the base, another on the enemy high ground up top. See, they're just playing around. Ramses is farming both ancient camps, they're farming both side lanes, and then they kind of collect around the mid lane as like 3 heroes just to keep the lanes pushed in, but also maintain safety by playing closer. Except for Solo. Who is Solo?
He was waiting out. He actually just lost a Gem of True Sight. Also, Crystal Maiden walking around with that. Before, they actually have another one. Yeah. There's one on the Sand King, so it goes both ways. Who was able to recover that? So it was the one that Madden bought originally is now on Afterlife.
And Roche spawns in 20 to 320. So again, they'll just chill.
They're buying time. Okay, maybe Gyrocopter's not going to go for the Rapier anymore. He's got Panic in the quick buy.
I know, right?
You sure?
100%.
So he's just trying to fool us with his quick buy. Alright, so we're going to get our Roshan spawn timer. Let's see who's going to have the advantage here. It's 1.5-ish minutes. So both sides will be looking to play around this, which means establishing vision.
Their only real play, I think, actually they need Rapier to win a fight, and then they can utilize that to maybe win a fight at Roche. Wait, he bought an ultimate orb. Is he going Manta or something?
Who are you talking about?
The Gyrocopter.
Really? Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, he's sitting on Lincoln Sphere now. It's Lincoln's. He's trying to get away from the Doom. But then Doom is also building Refresher Orb. If he gets the shard, then you're looking at even